Hey guys, Coach Victor Robledo. Today I'm going to share with you a story on how movies and greeting cards commercials would make me break down into tears. But before we get into that, if you're new to this channel, please like and subscribe. I'm Coach Victor Robledo. For 30 years, I've been helping clients and friends and family understand what they need to do to be happy, strong, and healthy, from strength training, nutrition, mobility, injury prevention, and even mindset, because this should be an individual journey, not something that's the latest trend. So let's get into it. Hallmark commercials and movies would just make me break down. And I'm talking again about adrenal fatigue. Now, adrenal fatigue or adrenal exhaustion, if you found me, this is something that affects many Americans, a high stress life that leads to, amongst a lot of different symptoms. So let's talk about those symptoms real quick. Wired and tired, sleep changes, anxiety, depression, weight gain, blood sugar management problems, muscle aches and pains that don't heal. In one of my other videos, I just talked about electrolyte problems that is associated with adrenal fatigue and adrenal insufficiency. And so one of the things that can really have a negative impact is the changes in your endocrinology. What does that mean? The changes in your testosterone, particularly for my men. One of the big complaints that I get when I first start doing an evaluation or a consult with a lot of guys, they're like, I'm like going from road rage to weepy and crying. And I can remember back really vividly into watching many movies, even kids cartoons that had just a little bit of sentiment, and I was like breaking down, like, what the heck is going on with me? And it comes down to a simple equation. The more we have stress in our body, and think about it, this is you're being chased, this fight or flight setting that we're trying to live in, eventually that you cannot live your life in fight or flight. And one of the easiest things that I always talk about with my clients is that you're much like a car. You're shifting gears, right? First gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, whatever it is. You cannot live life in fifth gear. We got to be able to bring it down to first gear. And when you chronically live life in fifth gear, you can wear yourself down. And when you wear yourself down, you have high amounts of cortisol, high amounts of stress, you're going to have an inversion in your androgens, particularly for my guys and even for my gals as well. So as you start to get that inversion, right, you get high cortisol, your testosterone starts to drop. And then you couple that with potentially estrogenic foods, poor sourced foods, or the wrong choices, and I'll save that one for another nutritional video. You're going to get this surge and feel less manly. You're going to get that breakdown, and when you're watching movies, you're going to get that shift. You're going to be like, man, you're going to feel a little more weepy and tired. So what can you do? Well, one of the first things you can do is make sure you're exercising, make sure you're sleeping right, make sure you're eating right, make sure you're taking care of your gut health. And a lot of my videos are focused on this and all the pieces that come together. So that's why you're seeing a shift. Cortisol's high, testosterone low. Because if you think about it, if you're being chased like by a bear, truthfully, in this fight or flight situation, the last thing you're thinking about is procreating or having sex. So the body shifts into that fight or flight. Now, the biggest problem with this is that most people on some level are living their everyday life in that fight or flight response. Although we're not being chased by a bear, we are in that fight or flight response, because you've gotten so used to it. And you can see it with the tension, and you have poor breathing patterns. I treat most people for some breath dysfunction these days, and we focus a little bit on meditation and mindfulness to kind of bring them down. That's another element as well. So that's it for today, guys. If you're having trouble with adrenal fatigue, please reach out. You can leave some comments down below. I'll point you in the right direction, or you can set up a consult with me. This is what I do, and this is what I love to do, is help people. Thanks.